What's up guys, Houndish here. Today we're jumping in with another Destiny 2 video ahead of the weekly reset, where of course Destiny 2 finally gets just a little bit of new content this week, or should we say new rewards really. On top of that, there'll be another game update, so that'll include some fixes and changes for Renegades content. Plus we have a couple of updates from Bungie to round up ahead of the content refresh this week, so if you guys enjoy the video, a rating would really help us out on the channel, but now let's jump into it. And so the first thing worth bearing in mind is that we are getting an update this week, so this is update 955. Bear in mind that D2 will be brought offline for maintenance at 7:35 AM Pacific, and then the update should be playable as of 9 AM Pacific, so there'll be about an hour and a half of downtime ahead of the patch. And that update will partially load in some of the content that we'll get access to in the week, including some of the event stuff, but otherwise there'll probably be additional fixes and changes. We don't know exactly what they are yet. We're also curious about potential new content additions. There's been a missing exotic ship for Renegades since the launch, which is the modified NLS Courier. No one's earned it yet, but it is a gameplay reward. So either Bungie never added it to the game, or we'll be able to acquire it at a later date, so we could look out for minor things like that. Bungie had also said there's a community emblem that everyone will get access to from the Oath of the Renegades challenge. This is the emblem we can see on screen. No confirmation that we'll get it this week, but with this being the first update of the year, of course it is possible, so I'll keep you posted. Quick mention for something else happening this week, but Bungie issued a challenge from the Dark Age, which basically they're asking players to do a medieval run of the Warlord's Ruin dungeon. And that does require a solo completion using exclusively bows, glaives, and swords. All other abilities are allowed, but the dungeon must be completed in one go as a solo run, so we have until February 3rd to do that, and if we can do it, we'll unlock the Fallen Torches emblem that you can see on screen, so let us know if you might try that out down in the comments section. The other component is Arms Week. On top of the weapons, there'll be additional rewards like the new Arms Week emblem we can see. And as always, Ada 1 will have some challenges and quests for us, which are kind of basic intro quests, but they'll actually award us with a bunch of the mods for the event, which includes things like Tungsten Bowstring, which deals increased damage at the cost of draw time and handling, and releases an elemental explosion matching the weapon when fully drawn. There's also Jump Shot, and while drawing the weapon in mid-air, we'll get increased damage, faster draw time, and improved target acquisition. Then finally Shatter Shafts, which sounds like the best one, where arrows and bolts split into several projectiles after a short distance. Plus there's also the Arms Week title, of course, Sharpshooter, so if you haven't earned that in the past, or if you want to finish it up during the event, that's something else that'll be available. You normally only have to complete 4 challenges, so relatively easy to get if you're after it. Otherwise, we have the new weapons themselves, which do have Arms Week specific holofoils. I believe this is the Arms Week holofoil. I've noticed some folks saying we'll be able to get this holofoil variant as well, but just as a quick heads up, this appears to be reserved for other events like Heavy Metal. And we've seen Bungie do this in the past where they have a whole bunch of different cosmetic versions of the weapons, so don't get your hopes up for the orange one just yet, as that is not featured in the Arms Week engram. Kind of frustrating that we have to wait to get the orange ones, to be fair, because that would be my preferred version of the weapon. I mean, it's basically only a picture, or an image, obviously, but one of the big downsides with featuring these weapons numerous times is that you could get a god roll that you really like, and then one comes along with a different cosmetic that you basically have to farm again. Alternatively, it would be cool if we could kind of transmog the cosmetic part onto an existing god roll or something like that, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. Kind of frustrating as well that some of the content I've seen online is telling folks they're going to get these orange weapons this week. Just keep in mind, that is not the case. It's also one of the reasons we have to be careful when using the API to look at this stuff early, obviously. So share your thoughts about it below nonetheless. But the bow we're looking at here, King Orfeo, is an arc precision frame bow, and it can roll stuff like Surplus, Shoot to Loot, Archer's Tempo, Explosive Head, Successful Warm-Up, Pugilist, and Impulse Amplifier in the first trade slot. Then the second slot can roll Dragonfly, Rolling Storm, Precision Instrument, Meganeura, Rangefinder, plus there's Jolting Feedback and Swashbuckler. I'm kind of excited to try Meganeura on one of these bows. I don't know how good it will really be, but I'll be looking for combos like Archer's Tempo, Successful Warm-Up, and perhaps Explosive Head, paired up with things like Meganeura or Jolting Feedback. These weapons also get the Nail Meat Hammer origin trait, where the weapon's more effective against combatant shields, and the weapon grants bonus special ammo progress if it uses primary or heavy ammo progress if it uses special ammo. That bonus will also be available on King Orfeo, which is a glaive that we'll also be able to get in Arms Week. This won't be the featured weapon, but we'll have chances to drop it from the engram and things like that. And this can get proximity power, replenishing ages, disruption break, repulsor brace, lead from gold, overflow, or envious assassin, paired up with things like destabilizing rounds, redirection, unrelenting, binary orbit, unstoppable force, ancillary ordnance, and sword logic. Seen some mixed thoughts on these weapons ahead of time, so you'll have to share your impressions of them down below. And one of the reasons I'm covering this ahead of time is that we pretty much know how the loot tables actually work for these, so in terms of getting the weapons, there'll be bonus Arms Week engrams featured on certain portal activities, so we'll be able to farm activity content for actual drops at the end, plus the event track will feature some specific Holofoil versions. You can also buy the weapons with tokens in the event home, and we get some quest drops when we do all the intro stuff for Arms Week, so actually getting the weapons is relatively easy, but if it turns out there's some crazy farm or something like that, I'll keep you posted in a separate video later on. A final mention this week, and this is something kind of outside of the game, but Bungie will hold their Game to Give livestream on January 29th at 10 AM Pacific, which will be on the Bungie Foundation Twitch channel. And they'll be celebrating the history of Bungie games, so there'll be challenges across OG Marathon, the Halo series, D1 and D2. And on top of the folks taking part in the challenges, there'll be guest appearances from Brian Villalobos, who plays Lodi, and Todd Habercorn, who plays the Drifter, of course, where they'll be additionally auctioning off epic items from Bungie history, and a new emblem, so players will be able to earn this one by making donations during the live stream window. So if you want to check that out, keep in mind January 29th at 10 AM for what will be the final couple of hours of the Game to Give event for the year. For the moment though, guys, that is what we have to round up in the video today. So if you've enjoyed it, a rating would really help us out on the channel down in the comments section. Also be sure to hit subscribe and I'll keep you up to date with everything related to the game, the patch notes later on, and any new info regarding the event content this week. Plus, we're still waiting on updates from Bungie regarding roadmaps, potential release schedules for Ash and Iron, or should I say Shadow and Order? My goodness, please don't release Ash and Iron again. Either way, there should be some news soon, so keep it locked and loaded here on the channel, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will keep you up to date. But otherwise, thank you for watching today, and I will catch you all very soon.
You'll do well here. I don't relish doing business with these leeches. But we need to find out what the Dredgen are after.
You crave justice. Why die for a criminal?
Why do you hate your own kind so much? It's time to take the fight to the Imperium.
Finish it. And the Imperium is yours to lead. You will fall. But next time, we meet.
Only one play left.